Gunsellers, and welcome back to Hertha Hero with Hertha Berlin on Football Manager 2020 with me, Foggy Plays. Today is the start of Season 5, sort of. Well, it's going to be Season 5, Episode 1, and we've just, yesterday, in-game, won the Euro 2 Cup final against Napoli. So we have the overall best 11 for the last 4 seasons, and some people that are after making it into the starting 11 or substitute bench. Kyle George comes in straight into the starting lineup, and Jorginho and Billy Gilmore are selected on the bench. So Mannion is the current starting goalkeeper, which, to be fair, has played the most games recently. Lucanets, Garvidal, Jorginho and Arias as the defenders. Actually, how's Mannion beginning on in West Ham? Played 25 games, conceded 33. Interesting. West Ham survived relegation. Very good. 13th. Oh, very good. Very good. He might actually get a move this summer. So Arias is in China. And how's he been getting on? He's done quite well in his 2 seasons in China. Well done. Good job, buddy. Supposedly and Arne Meyer, central midfielders. They've been the central midfield partnership for the last 2 seasons now. 3 seasons. Well, 2.5 seasons. So it makes sense. Jonathan David is the starting right winger. Dilrosun on the left. Dilrosun is at AC Milan. Didn't have a great season this year. They're probably regretting spending 55 million on him, but it's fine by me. Piatek and Kai George as the strikers. On the bench we have Doucouré, Tornariga, Billy Gilmore, Luca Biacco, who is at Sampdoria. Yep. Played 18 games, scored twice. He was his first season. He was very good for us, and then just wasn't great. Pietro Pellegrini, as we know, is at Borussia Mönchengladbach, so we beat them on the final day. He played 21 times and scored 10 goals. Not his best season, but still did the business. Nick Stark is off playing for Villarreal and played 32 games. How did Villarreal do in La Liga? 12th. I think his value now is a lot better than it should be, I'd say. And Gabigol is demoted to the bench. He disappointed he left us, but I think he's probably going to be a little disappointed he left us too, because he was a nailed-on starter for us, and then he goes to Liverpool and he doesn't really play that much. Probably a mistake on his part, but not my problem. So for the overall, or not the overall best of them, the player of the year, who do you think is going to have won it? Comment down below to let me know who you think's won it and who is the signing of the season. So just interested to see what other people think, because I'm going to say Nets is probably the young player of the year. No, it's going to be Kai George. Kai George going to win everything. Yep. Kai George, young player of the season. And 45% of the votes for player of the season. Carlos Mina got second in his debut season. Piatek, interestingly, gets third. Carlos Mina, 1.5 million from Medellin in Colombia. Had a fantastic season. I don't think anybody would have expected him to do as well as he has. But that was fantastic. Sabazai scored the goal of the season against Cologne in January. So you definitely wouldn't have seen that, because the only game in January I showed you was the Bayern Munich game, I think. But this be interesting to see if this is actually goal of the season. Now that I think about it, I think this is the one I showed you. Yeah, this is his run from deep in our half and he dinked the keeper. I think that's actually one of the first times that FM's gotten it right. That was probably the goal of the season for us. The team of the season is pretty much the team we played the majority of the season. Rios Novo in goal, Alleg in nets as our wing-backs, Jorginho and Garvidal central defence, Meyer and Sposley in central field, Mina and Jonathan David, as our wide men, Kai George and Esposito up front. Definitely, without a doubt. I think Piatek has probably seen the end of his Hertha Berlin days. If I have anything to say about it, if somebody comes in and tries to buy him, they can have him. For a reasonable sum of money, obviously. So, Kai George, top goal scorer with 30 goals, and he spent about 2 months of the season injured. So I wonder what could have been had he not picked up that injury. Carlos Mina had the highest average rating of 7.53. Also had 20 assists. Rios Novo, 89% pass completion, which is quite good. Most player of the match awards, Kai George and Esposito with 5 each. Jorginho was the most yellow carded player with 14 yellow cards. A little disappointed it's that low. And most red cards, Arne Meyer and Alexander Michael. Arne Meyer was a bit of a bold boy from time to time. So it was a memorable season for Hertha Berlin as they tasted success in the Bundesliga and the Euro Cup too. All of Hertha Berlin's dreams came true this season as they defied expectations, suggesting that they would be would be relegation certainties, and instead mounted an almost unbelievable title-winning campaign. It was the season of unlikely yet jubilant success for the Alte Dame, who consistently defied the odds from the outset and were eventually crowned champions. The German Football Chronicle. Match of the season was our 5-1 win against Frankfurt. Moment to forget was against Bayer Leverkusen when we got smashed 4-1. We were on a decent run at that time, if I remember correctly. The stadium was 78% full. Just not terrible. And we used the most players in the league. So as you can see, won the Bundesliga, won the Euro Cup 2, and lost in the semi-final to Hamburg. So what does the team want us to do for next year? Develop players using the club's youth system, which I have been doing, playing attacking, entertaining, high-tempo football, and making the most of set pieces. It's required that we play high-tempo pressing football, which we do. We play high-tempo, as high as we can tempo, gegenpress. They want us to work within the wage budget, which we have like almost 1.1 million, I think it is, spare in wage budget, and they want us to increase commercial revenue, which I think we're going to do South Korea in the training camp, if it's an option, to try and boost that. Next season they want us to avoid a relegation battle and reach the quarterfinal of the Champions League. The data analysis facilities are going to be improved, but the season after they want us to win the Bundesliga. My contract ends the season after and they want us to just continue winning. I'm pretty happy with that. Squad dynamics update. Everybody loves me, of course. The dressing room atmosphere is fantastic. Team cohesion is delightful. Everything is looking rosy. Player that missed the most percent of the season that is actually at the club was Mina, with 22% of the season missed. Most injuries were Sascha Lang playing in the Bundesliga 2 for Darmstadt. He didn't have a great season, but it's not terrible. He had 7 injuries, and the longest spell out, just a bunch of players. Mina 2 months out for shin splints. That was everything. The lads will be back on the 3rd of July, which is fine, and they want us to go to Austria on a training camp. Ooh, I was hoping we go to foreign land, but we can't. I think we go to Portugal. Why not? I threw an offer in for a 15-year-old promising midfielder. Been rejected. Fantastic. Jonathan David wins Player of the Season for the Euro 2 Cup. Mina and Jorginho get 2nd and 3rd. To be fair, 13 appearances, 13 goals, 5 assists. And he won the Golden Boot. Kai George got 9 goals, finishing in 3rd. Vikula at Bate Borisov, a winger who scored 3 goals in his entire Bate Borisov career so far. Scored 11 goals in the Euro 2 Cup. Fair enough. And the squad of the season sees pretty much our entire team. Rios Novo, Nets, Garvila and Jorginho, Mina, Lvly, Meyer and Jonathan David getting in. That is fantastic. We have some amount of players make it in. So, for the next part of this video, we are going to look at the transfers that we have made So it'll be when we get to the end of the summer, we're going to have a look and see where we stand transfer-wise, who we brought in, who we've gotten rid of, a couple of reasons for why maybe. There's a lot of players coming in already, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with some of them, but we shall see. Right, fellas, the first game of the season has arrived. We still have a few weeks left in the transfer window, but we're going to do a little roundup now and then see how we get on at the end of the transfer window. But the next episode is going to be the Augsburg game, but we are going to have a look and see what we've done business-wise. We do have some offers that are currently going through. Not too worried about them at the minute. If they go through, I'll let you know as soon as possible. So we'll do by date, because we'll do by value. So Julian Alvarez has left the club for Olympiacos for 22.5 million. Didn't get a whole lot of opportunities. A lot of the games he played were off the bench. He wanted to leave. They offered 22.5 million. By all means, he would have a release clause of 91 million, I think it was, but he's gone. Adrien Fine has gone to Marseille. Just fell out of the team. Just wasn't really playing. Vinicius Popo, I didn't want to let him leave, but Hamburg put in an offer of 3 million for him. I rejected it. He said he wanted to go to Hamburg, so 7.5 million. They took him. Mannion came back from his loan at West Ham. Less valuable than when he went. So he went to Hoffenheim for 6 million. Bit of a loss. Quina has gone to Guingamp for possibly 3.2 million. Disappointed in him. I thought he was going to be better than he was. Did have a decent loan spell last year. Eibel was a player I signed 2 years ago. Yeah, signed him 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Never got a chance with us. Went out on loan straight away to Augsburg, and then went out on 2 loans to Bochum. But now St. Pauli have him, so he never quite met the grade. 2 youth players just got sold because they weren't good enough. Piatek's gone on loan to Newcastle. He wants to leave. I kept rejecting offers because they were 30 million or so was what we were getting offered. I didn't see the point in selling him for 30 million. So we've loaned him to Newcastle with an optional fee. No, they removed the optional fee. We just see how he gets on. Why is it? No, we're going to take him off the transfer list because he is not transfer. He shouldn't be transfer listed. So Piatek is gone. Pejulo wanted to go on loan again this year, so let him go to Bochum. Zunino has gone to Dresden. Cleonise has gone on loan to Hamburg. Kazetta and the Harby are gone to Ingolstadt. Angben has gone to ASEC Mimosas because he wanted a loan. He wasn't going to make it in the first team. Pena Biafore has gone on loan to España, to Oviedo. Yeah, Oviedo. Hopefully he'll get plenty of game time there. I might leave him stay a second season. Sascha Lang and Motz have gone to Darmstadt. Albrecht has gone on loan to Karlush. He probably would have gotten opportunities, but I don't know. Asdar arrived on the 8th, which you can't really see, but he arrived on the 8th of August. 6 days later, he went to Kaiserslautern on loan. Gutierrez, who I tried getting rid of, nobody wanted him, so he's gone on loan to Bochum as well. Julian Gomez, the Spanish goalkeeper I side, who had a very good season last year with Mallorca, has gone to Wiesbaden on loan. Lee De Juan, who I think is almost ready to get into the first team, he's gone to Duisburg. Kjellgrad, he's gone out on loan. I really wanted to get rid of him. Albrecht has gone on loan as well. Tippel's gone to Kaiserslautern on loan. Ryan Cassidy's gone to Darmstadt. Darmstadt have a lot of our players actually. Didn't realise that. David Brooks has gone to Norwich. He arrived at the club. Just wasn't good enough. There is an optional fee of 6.65 million or 6.75 million for Norwich to pay him. It just wasn't going to meet the grade. Wasn't going to get first team football, and I decided to see if I could get rid of him. So he was at the club for 11 days. So speaking of, David Brooks is, after coming in, he's gone out on loan already. Ryan Cassidy, same thing, he's come in, gone out. Boadu came in, you already knew about him. He is wanted by a whole bunch of clubs. I loan listed him just to see if we could shift him, because he came in and I think we have better options up front, but I'm not going to let him leave on the cheap. Valencia Mata is a player who we signed on a pre-contract. Looks decent. I'm hoping that he does come good. I'm going to make him available for the second team, see if that helps his ability. Kingsley Afobe is a 15-year-old. We signed him when he was 14. Came from Nuremberg for $500,000. They wanted $500,000. The compensation for him was like 2.5 million. So we saved 2 million. See if he comes good. Tony Leaning was on trial with us for a while. He is after coming in just to be in the second team. Pablo Gentile is a Uruguayan centre back who Frankfurt are not getting him. He has come in on a deal worth 3.3 million, going up to 10.5 possibly. Played already. He looks quite good. He looks very good. Joshua Reichel. I don't know what happened here. He came in on in the youth intake. We offered him a contract, and then it came up saying that he'd arrive in July. So I was a bit confused by that, but it's fine. Rodolfo Baez is a striker who is not going to be a striker. We're teaching him to be a box-to-box midfielder. So he's going to be a central midfielder, 'cause I don't think he's going to make it up front. We have too many options that I want to play. It's valued 17.5 million. We paid 5. Just straight up 5 million. So I think that's a tasty bit of business. We also brought in Brian Bingham from LAFC. He's an American goalkeeper who looks quite good. Rios Novo, I rejected a deal from Boca Juniors, I think it was. I don't think Rios Novo was overly happy by it, because he did say he wanted to leave. So I offered him out to clubs. Nobody wanted him. So not ideal. And then, as I said, Adzar came in from Sepan in Iran. Yeah, in Iran. He is already after getting his debut for Kaiserslautern. So he's just come in as a potential prospect. We have had a fairly convincing summer as well. Friendly wise, we dominated. Then in the Super Cup, the German Super Cup, it was 0-0, and we won on penalties. But it was fine. Both teams were. There wasn't many highlights. It was very much two teams that aren't completely ready for the season to start, I would say. And then we went and won our first round of the Pokal 7-0, scoring 6 of those in the first half. They had 2 players sent off in the second half, which they were very they shouldn't have been really. I don't think they were sending off, but the players got sent off regardless. Nothing I could do about it. Esposito missed a penalty in the 11th minute. No, can't have been the 11th minute. Missed the penalty in the 10th minute. So that was slightly frustrating, but he ended up getting a hat-trick. It's fine. Pablo Gentile came off the bench and scored, Boadu came off the bench as well. But we played really rather well. I gave Bingham his debut in this game just to see if he's actually any good. And yeah, he didn't have anything to do. We had 57 shots, 26 on target. Bingham had nothing to do. So he just enjoyed a quiet evening where he picked up his clean sheet bonus and didn't have to do anything to actually get it. We do have injury issues for the start of the season. Jonathan David is still injured, although I don't know, did you know about that? Jonathan David broke his ankle on international duty with Canada against St. Lucia. Giorgio picked up a knock recently. Alec picked up an injury as well in the win against Feyenoord. And Yokoyama, who is going to get an opportunity this year, he is turning into quite a good right back, has a broken lower leg. And he's been out for a substantial length of time. But he is looking quite good as a right back. I think this guy, when we brought him in for £1 million, I was like, oh, this is probably a really bad idea because he's not going to be like an amazing mid-winger. And then I looked at it again and I was like, but this guy, he could be good at right back. So we're ringing him in. It says he's 6th best. Tomiyasu might be leaving. Verbowski could leave. Gentile's not going to play at right back. And Alpha Jr. I cannot wait for this guy to turn 17 so I can get him into the first team. I think this guy is going to be fantastic. He looks quite good for 16. You can only imagine how good he's going to be in the not too distant future. We did give him a full contract as well. He's going to get $950 a week in June next year. So he's got quite a while. So he won't be playing any football for us basically this year. It'll be next season before he'll get a look in. So as I said, next episode is going to be the Augsburg game, which should be interesting. We also have the Champions League group draw. So we'll do the draw for that and then possibly come back for one of the Champions League games. They expect quite a lot of us this year. I don't remember if we've been over this already, but they expect us to reach the quarterfinal of the Champions League. They want us to challenge for the Bundesliga title and reach the final of the Pokal. So, should be interesting. It's going to be a delightful season, I hope. We are the early kickoff as well. We're the first game of the season, and they're expecting us to win the league. We do have Gervidal, Lvly, Esposito, and Caio Jorge in the Dream 11. So there's a chance that we can do the business. Bayern Munich have a new manager. When did this happen? He got sacked in May. I didn't see that. Oh, one thing that did happen is Zinedine Zidane is now Leicester manager. After 3 years without a job, pops in at Leicester. How did Leicester do last year, actually? That is interesting question. 12th and 11th for the last 2 seasons. They've not been great. How have they managed to get Zinedine Zidane to take over? Did they have a tycoon? No. Okay. Well, with all of that being said, like I said, as I said, back in the next episode for the Augsburg game, we are going to kick off our season and see how our new signings get on. Should be interesting. I'm expecting a decent season at least. We haven't changed too much about the first 11 anyway. The majority of the squad love me, which is delightful. There's a couple of players I'm still looking to move on or get out of the team in general. So we shall find out how that goes, because as I said, transfer window do have a little, like 3 weeks. No, we've about 2 weeks left before the end of the window. So let's see what happens. Kai Havertz as well, by the way. See here, 88 million. He's gone to Liverpool, and Livakovic has gone to PSG for 72 million. Fantastic. Alright, thank you very much for watching, fellas. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share with all of your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!